Do you have to jump on them a little bit, kind of shock them into the moment, get back on the winning ways?
I don't think so. I think it's the complete opposite. I think they're going to be excited about playing here and the environment that Toronto presents. My experience in coming into this building is that a lot of young players, old players have family that come here. They want to perform well. They have a tendency to be ready to go. Last year we came in, we didn't play very well, but we were at the back end of a 5 or 6 game road trip, and Toronto played a real good game. We're hoping to reverse that obviously this year, coming in at fresh and ready to go at the front end of the trip.
Todd, I suspect that a lot of their game plan is to, if they can't neutralize Connor McDavid. What about you guys? Do you focus on anybody on their side? Like, do you guys have any game plan to deal with Austin Matthews? Or?
Well, you have to. He's that talented. Our group of players are beginning to understand his talent level, his skill level. Fortunately for us as a coaching staff, some of us have been around Austin, and some of us, Nuge and Connor, have played with Austin, so they can spread the news that he is the real thing. But with that being said, in watching the Leafs play, I think it's more than just an individual. It's the group. They generate a lot of offense. They're able to keep plays alive. It's just not one and done. Their secondary and third shot attempts are evident in their games, and they're very quick to lose pucks. So our game plan will focus more about them as a whole rather than individuals.
As you watch your team and videos of other teams like the Leafs, do any teams, your team the Leafs in particular, remind you of your World Cup team you coach?
In some sense, and more so from some of the chances we gave up early in the year. We were going that way, no matter what the cost was coming back this way. And sometimes that happened with the Team North America at the World Cup. But I think as the schedule gets further in, teams begin to realize that scoring 7 a night is an anomaly. It's not going to happen, and you've got to be prepared to win 3-2 games. It's not the coaches taking it out of the game either. It's just the way the game is played. Guys get sharper. I think the skill that played in the World Cup, however many players there were, 200 of them, had a head start on some of the role players that didn't play, and it showed up now. It's starting to even out a little bit more.
When you coach certain people, you grow fondness for them, or maybe the opposite in some cases. You've had McDavid now for the time you've had him. You had Matthews for that short time in the World Cup. When you walk in here today, are you thinking about both of those guys, or just because of personal experiences?
Yeah, you do a little bit. Obviously, our allegiance is to Connor, and he's still relatively young in our world, but he's become such a major player in it that we're growing together. A mature coaching staff is growing with a young player, and sometimes that relationship has to form itself. We have to be aware of how to approach him. He has to be comfortable in approaching us, and I think it's gone really well. The back end of the question with Austin is, there's a little bit of a bond when you've spent that time with him. We've probably spent more, well, maybe not more anymore, but we spent a lot of personal time around him. We were all on the road for a month. There was no going home to your condo like Mike or his staff do. It was in the hotel. It was eating meals with these guys. It was having meetings. It was on airplanes constantly. So there is an awareness and a following of what he's doing. But we've got our work cut out for us just in Edmonton, so the focus is there most of the time.
What does it say Cam Bell with the way he's bounced back from that Buffalo game, like your whole team, but he gave up an unfortunate goal to Ryan O'Reilly, and sometimes that can rattle the goalie, but his numbers have been sparkling ever since. What do you think that says about him?
I think it says that he's mature. He's a leader in the locker room. He accepts responsibility for his game and his actions. And that night, other than the lob shot that bounces in, and that happens once every 100 games in the league. The ice conditions. He wasn't red rotten. Our team, and he's part of that, and the coaching staff. We were all red rotten, and it was a good lesson for us to learn. You know, so we parlayed that moment, we learned, and we took it forward. He did in goal, the team did as a whole, and we were able to turn it into a pretty good run. Now we're at that point again where what lessons are we learning as we go forward? But Cam has been tremendous. He's been a huge part of our success.
Have you ever seen the league as fast as it is right now?
Probably not. It is, it's talented, it's quick, it's the generation that's taking over is a new one in my opinion. They haven't played under the old clutch and grab rules. They never were exposed to it ever, no matter where they were at their age. They've always played free hockey, where some of the older players that have played 10 years in the league are in-betweeners. And some of the really old guys that aren't playing anymore, obviously that's the only way they knew. So I think that free play is prominent in their development, and also the tactics that coaches use in that free play world is the only thing they've ever known. So they're fast, and they like playing that way.